Alycats and you viewers. So today's part 1 of my May 2017 favorites. If you're new to the channel and don't know what favorites are, that's where I list everything I loved in the entertainment industry over the past couple of weeks. I always split these into 2 parts because I have way too many favorites. It's a problem of mine. I'm not really working on it, but still, 2-parter, so you get 2 for the price of 1. And first up, you might be wondering, Alyssa, why are you being a douchebag who wears her sunglasses indoors? Well, I just had LASIK surgery, and I don't want my light to blind me, so LASIK, one of my favorites this month. But now let's actually move on to the actual entertainment. The book I really loved was Perfect Little World by Kevin Wilson. This is about a girl named Izzy who has just graduated from high school, but she's also pregnant with her art teacher's baby, and she knows that she's going to have a difficult life raising her child because she lives with her father who is in and out of her life. She works at a barbecue joint, and she doesn't really have any financial prospects. But then she learns about this project called the Infinite Family Project, where she would join 9 other families and 9 other babies, and her baby would be raised communally with the other babies. And the parents themselves would have housing, they'd be able to go to school if they wanted to, and it sounds too good to be true. So Izzy accepts the offer, and this chronicles how the 10 years of living communally changes the families and how it bonds them and tears them apart. It's a fascinating, thought-provoking read, and I highly recommend it if it sounds interesting to you. Next up for the films I've enjoyed, the first one is one I've mentioned before, but that is Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog. This was created by Joss Whedon during the writer's strike in Hollywood in 2006, I believe. And it stars Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, and Felicia Day. It's only 42 minutes long, so if you haven't seen this, we can't be friends. We can be friends, but just make sure you hop on this ASAP because it's amazing. Because this examines how some people, even though we may view them as evil, aren't as evil as they seem, or people that we might view as being a hero aren't as heroic as they seem. And it's just full of humor, full of catchy songs. It's amazing. I can't stop singing his praises, no pun intended. Definitely give Dr. Horrible a chance because you will love him. I pretty much guarantee it. 98% guarantee. Don't sue me if you don't. Now for the remainder of the films, the first one up is A Monster Calls. I did cover this film in my filmography of J.A. Bayona video, so I'll have that linked up here and down there so you can hear my full thoughts about it, but I really enjoyed this film. Next up is A History of Violence. This is a film directed by David Cronenberg, based on the graphic novel of the same name, and this stars Viggo Mortensen, Maria Bello, and Ed Harris, and it's about a man named Tom Stahl who is living what many would consider to be a dream life. He has a loving wife, 2 beautiful children, and a semi-successful diner in a small town. But one day, 2 men enter his diner, threaten his patrons with guns, and he has to shoot both men in an act of self-defense. Well, the national news hears about this and they hail him as a hero. But when this happens, this mysterious man, played by Ed Harris, walks into his diner and starts accusing him of being a man actually named Joey from Philadelphia, who blinded the guy in one eye. And Tom's like, no, I'm not him. So the rest of the film is a very twisty-turny thriller about, is Tom actually Tom, or is he Joey? And at first, you're like, David Cronenberg directed this, but when you see the violence, you instantly know David Cronenberg directed this film. It is violent and gory and brutal and thought-provoking, and I really enjoyed it. Next up are 2 films that I really enjoyed, but a lot of people don't, and those films are Machete and Machete Kills. I adore Robert Rodriguez as a director, and Machete Kills are embodiments of his personality. They're bold, they're brash, they're cheesy, they're campy, they're balls to the wall, they're action-packed. Danny Trejo is fantastic as Machete. Machete, don't text. That was a really bad Machete impersonation, I'm sorry. But these films are just pure fun. They're violent, gory deaths, amazing action sequences, really cool celebrity roles. If you like Robert Rodriguez and cheesy, campy fun, the Machete films are up your alley. Next up is The Red Turtle, a stunning, and I mean stunning, animated film that is executive produced by Studio Ghibli. My fucking phone won't stop going off and it's bugging me. Why did I bring it in here? I don't know. The Red Turtle is about a man who washes up on shore on a deserted island, and he is trying to escape, but he also has to learn how to live in this harsh new climate. And the titular Red Turtle ultimately changes his life in ways he never could have predicted. This film is a beautiful look at the cycle of life, about the human condition, how far we'd go for the ones we loved, and what it means to actually be human. It's a very thought-provoking film. It was nominated for Best Animated Film at the Oscars this year, and I can't recommend it enough. And it is dialogueless besides the occasional, hey! But if you love film and you love thought-provoking films, then The Red Turtle is something you should aim to watch. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I view this as being on the same par as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. A lot of people either think this is better or worse than the first one. I think it's equal. It's so much fun. It's so colorful. Again, it has an amazing soundtrack. The performances are top-notch. Baby Groot is everything. I loved the new additions. I loved Kurt Russell as Ego the Living Planet. I loved Pom Klementieff as Mantis. I enjoyed seeing more of the Ravagers. I just loved everything about this film, and I had such a good time watching it. Next up is Southside with You. This is a film that if you're a fan of the Before trilogy from Richard Linklater, I think you'll really enjoy this film. And this follows the first date of Barack and Michelle Obama, and it follows them as they travel through Chicago and just talk and get to know each other. And even though it does focus on Barack and Michelle Obama, you don't have to be a fan of either of those to appreciate this film. You can kind of just, you know, imagine person one, person two. It doesn't really focus on their politics or anything like that. This is truly about their love story, about how they met, and how two people connected. And I just thought it was very well done. Very powerful, very beautifully shot, and amazingly acted. Next up is Hidden Figures. This is based on the real-life story of 3 women who changed NASA forever. All of the actors and actresses in this film are fantastic. Theodore Melfi did a wonderful job directing this film, and it's a very powerful film. I really loved Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, Janelle Monáe, and Mahershala Ali in this film, but I also really enjoyed Glenn Powell. I thought this was his best performance to date, and it's a very moving, inspirational film that just makes you feel good. And lastly is Victor Frankenstein. Is this a perfect film? No. But if you like the TV show Penny Dreadful, if you enjoy films like Dracula Untold, I think you'll like Victor Frankenstein. This focuses more on the bond between Igor and Victor Frankenstein, played by Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy respectively, and how they met. It focuses on Igor's backstory, which I really enjoyed learning about, and I just love seeing the bond between these two. There's actually humor in this film, which I wasn't expecting, and there are some pretty awesome action scenes and climactic moments. The special effects can be cheesy, and sometimes some of the lines just kind of feel like, eh? But for the most part, Max Landis' script is just tight and fun, and Paul McGugan did a fantastic job directing this very dark tale. But I also loved that there was some levity in it, and I loved the performances by James McAvoy and Daniel Radcliffe. And this is definitely one of those films that if you're a fan of science fiction, fan of horror, and you're looking to fill some time one day when you're bored, Victor Frankenstein is something I think you'll enjoy. Now moving on to TV shows I've enjoyed. First up is The White Princess. This is a sequel slash spin-off of The White Queen, which I actually made a review about, so check that video out. But I adored The White Queen, and this follows immediately after The White Queen, but they've recast all the actors in this series, and it follows Elizabeth Grey's daughter, Elizabeth, as she is set to marry King Henry Tudor, and there's just a lot of intrigue and drama and historical fiction, because even though there are some elements that are rooted in history, some elements are fictionalized. It's such an enthralling, absorbing, intriguing show, and again, the costumes are incredible. The setting is gorgeous, and all the actors, even though they've been recast, bring their A game. So I highly recommend watching The White Princess. You do not have to have seen The White Queen beforehand, but it does help you fill in some gaps if you have seen it beforehand. And the other show I've really enjoyed has been American Gods. I love the novel, and I'm really loving the TV show so far. I adore Ricky Whittle as Shadow Moon and Ian McShane as Mr. Wednesday. And this is a really fucking weird show, but I love it for that aspect. And to summarize this very complex, complicated story, it's basically about the old gods, think Odin, Anansi, Easter, etc., warring against the new gods, media, technology, etc., and they're trying to see who comes out on top. And it's also a road trip film about how Shadow and Mr. Wednesday bond and what they get into. It's just wonderful, and you really need to read it or watch it to really grasp the concept of it. Now, a game I've been enjoying has been Persona 5. I just hopped from Mass Effect Andromeda to Persona 5, so I have had no breaks from RPGs, but I am totally okay with that. And with Persona 5, you do not need to have played a previous Persona game, This is very beginner friendly. There is a rather lengthy tutorial section in this game, but it really does help you learn to utilize the fighting system, come to grips with the whole you have to go to school, build relationships, all this other stuff that goes into making Persona such a wonderful game. And I love the anime style. It's so stunning and it's so well done. I love Morgana. Oh my gosh, I just want to squeeze her to death. She's so cute. And I swear, I will romance Takamaki sometime in this game, because Takamaki is hot, and I'm just like, I gotta bang her. I'm just saying. But this game has me in its thrall, and I couldn't be happier. As for YouTube, I've really been enjoying the 73 question series on Vogue's channel. I know, Vogue, I know. But it's really entertaining. They interview a celebrity, ask them 73 questions, they go throughout the celebrity's home. It's just so much fun. My favorites are the interviews with Blake Lively and Neil Patrick Harris, but all of them are really fun and just very intriguing, especially if you're into celebrity culture like I am. So if you think that sounds interesting, check out that playlist. And also all the music I loved is in the description box down below, so give the songs a listen, let me know what you think. And also let me know what songs you're currently enjoying, because I always need to discover new music or new to me music, because I'm just a music head. So those are all my favorites for this first half of May. Let me know what your favorites were or are in the comment box down below. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like. Share the video if you liked it, because that helps my channel grow. And if you'd like to follow me on social media sites, they're all listed down below. Oh, and also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll always be alerted every time I upload a new video, start a new live stream, yada yada yada. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and kisses. Bye. Oh wow. There's a lot of results for Sam Heughan and Kilts. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. But while I have your attention, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you'll see my face floating over here. You can click that and that'll sub you to my channel. Also, if you'd like to see my previous video, you'll find it up here. And if you'd like to see a playlist of videos that you can just watch on repeat, and that over here as well. I'd love to have you as part of the Alycat family. And, you know, now I'm just gonna go back and look at Sam Heughan and Kilt some more, because I've lost all dignity now. Oh goodness. So hot.